Hi, second graders. We're on to another week of a story. And so this would be a Tuesday. And the story this week is called Dear Juno by So Young Pak and illustrated by Susan Kathleen Herung. And so those are, if you've noticed, a little bit of a different name, probably somebody from Asia. And so, in telling you that, as you read Dear Juno, you're going to have to draw conclusions, just like I did. I noticed that the author and illustrator's names were just a little bit different. They didn't seem like common names that we would hear. And so I drew the conclusion that they were probably from another place. And so, as you're reading, I want you to look for clues about the characters and events as you read and look at the pictures. Okay? And so, for more clues, think about what you already know about real life as you read the story. Also, um, sometimes it helps to visualize and ask yourself questions as you're reading and looking at the pictures. Where does the main character live? Um, or another character in the story? What do you see them doing? And what do they look like? What do the characters look like? So, visualizing helps us to also draw conclusions about the story and the characters. So, in this story, Dear Juno, you're going to see how Juno and his grandmother exchange letters. Have you ever written a letter and mailed it? What would the steps be to do that? Well, first you need to write a letter, and then you would fold it up and put it in an envelope. And usually you have to lick an envelope and close it nice and tight. Then you would flip it over, and you would need to write an address of who you wrote the letter to. So you would need to know where they live. And then you would put your own address on there in case the letter gets returned for some reason. Sometimes that happens. And then you would put a stamp on it. You would need to know where to get stamps, and they cost money. It costs money to mail a letter. And so then you would put it in the mailbox or drop it off. You may have seen a big blue mailbox in your town or in another town. You would stick it in there, and the mailman would deliver your letter. So that's the process for mailing a letter if you've never done it. Kind of a little process, isn't it? Well, in Dear Juno, you can see how Juno and his grandmother exchange letters. So, as we look at our words here for this story, we have high frequency words that you will see. I'm just going to go through them and then go back through them. And the second time, I'm going to have you read them with me. The first word we have is picture. Our next word is school. Then we have answer. When we ask a question, we usually get an answer. Far away. Far away is one word. And I can tell you guys that I had to really look at that because I've always thought, oh, far away. But it's together, it's one word. Far away, far away. That means in another place that's not close. The next word we have is parents. Then we have the word wash. And last, we have the word company. Those are our high frequency words. If we can get good at reading those words, we can become more fluent, or our reading will be more smooth and quick. So let's go through and read those together one more time. We have picture, school, answer, far away, parents, wash, and company. For our vocabulary words, this first word that we see here is kind of a long word, but hopefully when you see it in our story, you will remember it after going over it. The word is persimmons. Persimmons are yellow and orange colored sweet fruits that are like plums. Okay? Not a common fruit that we hear often. So persimmons. Our next word is smudged. Smudged means smeared or marked with dirty streaks. So what it made me think of is a time that I had an ink pen and it was kind of leaking a little bit of ink and it smudged on my paper. Sometimes maybe you've smudged lead from your pencil on your desk or your paper by accident. Our next word is envelope. And I know I mentioned an envelope in talking about mailing a letter. The envelope is what you place the letter inside, a paper sleeve that is used to hold a letter. And our last word we have is photograph. A photograph is a picture taken with a camera. So it's kind of a fancier word for picture. Photograph. And so Dear Juno is a realistic fiction story, which means it didn't really happen, but it could. And so I hope you enjoy the story this week. And if you have any questions or need Mrs. Nuremberg or I, please don't hesitate to reach out.